Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video, I'm going to be discussing what I thought of the fourth and final season premiere of FX's The Strain, which premiered earlier tonight. It was a bittersweet moment because not only has one of our favorite summer shows returned with a brand new season, but it is also its final season. I'm going to miss this show. I've really enjoyed it over the past several years, and it's I've pretty much enjoyed it for the most part, and I'm sad to see it go. But I'm also glad that these guys have figured out when it was a good time for them to end, and hopefully they give us the best final season ever. So, and I think this episode did a pretty good job of letting us know what's to come. Now, before I begin geeking out and gushing over it, of course, please be warned that this video will be full of massive spoilers regarding the season premiere of The Strain. If you're not caught up on The Strain by the first episode of Season 4 or the past couple episodes of Season 3, don't keep watching and listening, as I will be going into plot details. So, you have been warned. Spoilers from here on out. That being said, pretty good episode. Very, very good episode. It has definitely let us know what's been going on since the season 3 finale. It's been about 9 months since the nuclear blast in New York. Basically, it seems like most of society has fallen and the Strigoi have officially taken over. The Master is still headquartered in New York City, of course, with Eichhorst and Zach at his side. And he seems to be trying to raise Zach as a prodigy, as a potential candidate for a new body he's going to inhabit, to possess, which seems a little strange, but I guess it does make a little bit of sense since Zach's body is much more healthier than Palmer's body. But so that's happening. And then there were some things that were a bit, I'm sure that it'll be explained in some exposition in the next episode or so. But we find F alone once again, living on his own once again in Philadelphia this time. And he's like exchanging services for goods. He was at a trade post where he was getting tips about different jobs where you go to play house doctor and they give you something. In this case, the guy gave him a bottle of liquor or something. And then, what was interesting, what was great about this episode is that we finally got to see what this disease, what the strain has done to the rest of the country. We saw Fett and his new girlfriend Charlotte in North Dakota along with Quinlan. Obviously North Dakota doesn't look as bad as Manhattan per se, but it's still, the apocalypse, this strain has affected everyone and everything far and wide. And of course we saw F in Philadelphia as well. We got some insight as to what's going on there. So this episode definitely did let us know what's been going on. This is probably the biggest time jump in the show's timeline. It's been about 9 months since the season 3 finale, and so a lot has changed, obviously. And it seems like Fett has left New York, but not left. Like he's on a mission to find other nuclear weapons, and probably with the possibility of, on a sanctioned mission by Satrakian to say, find another nuclear missile or weapon, because that's what we're going to use to wipe out the Master. Or if I had to guess, if they're looking for a thermonuclear weapon, they want to wipe out Manhattan altogether, which would be like the central hive, the central nest of like all the Strigoi. Even though they're nationwide or worldwide at this point, you take out the Master and then all the Strigoi would descend into chaos and panic. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed that we didn't get a glimpse, we didn't get some answers regarding some of our other characters. We didn't see what has become of Dutch. Why wasn't she with Fett? Why isn't she out there in the field with him? At least we got to see one of our fan favorites, Fett, along with another fan favorite, Quinlan, as well. And what was really enjoyable is that these two have finally started to either trust each other, or if they don't fully trust each other, at least they're getting along much better than they did did in season 3, cracking jokes and jabs at each other here and there. And Quinlan had the best line at the end of the episode after he rescues Fett. He says, like, once again, Mr. Fett, you jump into a pile of manure, or you find yourself in a pile of manure and you come out smelling like a bed of roses. And Fett's like, yeah, it's my superpower, which was pretty funny. And Quinlan had some pretty badass moments in this episode too, which was pretty cool. And even though it was a dream, or actually more of a nightmare, and I was suspicious it was a nightmare based on one of the TV promos we saw a few weeks ago with Satrakian having a Strigoi tongue shoot out at Fett. You know, I saw that in the promo. I'm like, that's probably a nightmare or a dream, because I doubt they would reveal a huge spoiler like that in a promo. And they didn't. You know, Fett was having that nightmare about Satrakian basically letting him know that, like, he's failing, then the pressure's on him now and whatnot. And even though that was Satrakian, that was the actor David Bradley, we didn't actually get to see Satrakian, at least in this episode. But I'm sure we'll see him in the next one, or possibly the 3rd episode. But I am curious as to where they're all at, because we saw where Fett, Quinlan were all at and what they were doing. But this episode didn't necessarily explain why our band of main characters has suddenly separated. Because last we saw them, they were all escaping into the subway tunnel underground after the nuclear fallout. And all of a sudden, Fett's in Philly. Fett is in North Dakota, F is in Philadelphia, and we still haven't seen where Dutch and Satrakian are at. I'm assuming in New York, where they're trying to keep the battle going. Speaking of battle going, I like these 2 new characters that F has encountered after even though they blew up his bus. You know, there seems to be a pocket of resistance out there, or a small group of survivors who are determined to fight back against the Strigoi and what they're calling human collaborators, which is really sickening if you think about it, that there are humans who are so terrified of saving their own skins that they're now collaborating and willingly or unwillingly working with the Strigoi, who have now pretty much taken over at this point. But overall, I really liked it. You know, I didn't get to see all of my favorite characters, but I got to see at least a few of them, and I'm sure that we'll be learning more about the rest. We'll be learning more about why everybody's in separate different areas all over the country doing their own thing sooner rather than later. Overall, good episode. I'm sad to say this is the final season premiere for this show, but I am excited and curious as to see what the final season has in store for us. So I hope you guys enjoyed the season premiere. What did you think of tonight's episode? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you have a favorite moment or a not so favorite moment? Why do you think everybody's split up? What are your thoughts and theories on that? Don't forget to sound off down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. As usual, let's please keep it civil. You can disagree with one another, of course, but please be respectful and civil at all times. Thank you so much for watching this review video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more review videos like this one as we continue to follow along The Strain Season 4, which airs new episodes every Sunday night on FX from here on out. All right, you guys, have a great rest of the night. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.